So, alright, so to be able to graph using the equation y equals mx plus c, basically you follow these green box steps. So step 1 is you're using the y-intercept, which is this value c, to plot the point 0, c. Now, the reason why it's the x coordinate is 0, because remember at a y-intercept we learnt that the x is always going to be 0. So that's why it's 0, and the y-coordinate is obviously whatever the c value is. Right? So that's where we start off with. So if I have a look at A, let's do A first. My equation is y equals 2 over 3x plus 1. I need to basically determine what my y-intercept is. And remember, it's always the constant number. It's always a number that's by itself. So that is my y-intercept. I should be able to write it as a coordinate. So simply 0, c, which is 1. So that is the y-intercept. So I need to basically plot that point first. That's the first step I needed to do. So I'm going to draw little axes. There we go. So draw as neat as you can with a ruler, hopefully, but in your books. Now I'm going to plot that point. So 0 is my x-coordinate, 1 is my y-coordinate. So 0, 1. So here we go. That's where we begin with. Oh, that's not right. Hold on. So 0, 0, not 1. So 0, 1. Here we go. Here's my y-intercept. Okay, so next I have a look at my next step. Use x and y steps from the gradient m to locate another point on the line. So which one is m? Well, that's simple because we learnt about that. M, so I'll highlight this one in blue maybe. So you can see m is this value over here, what we have on the in front of the x basically. So if I write it on this side over here, 2 over 3 is my m value, the gradient value. Now for this one, you need to tell me what is the y step and what is the x step. So that, remember, the equation is that is the y step, that is the x step. So basically that's the x step, that's the y step. So all I have to do is take those steps. So I'm going to use my pen to figure it out. So my y step, I go 2. So positive 2 is going to the right. 1, 2. Okay? And then from that point, I have to go take my x. Oh, that's wrong. I have to go y up 2. So 1, 2. So my y, so I'm going up 2. And then I'm going to the right, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's using these numbers over here, 2 and 3. So I take 2 steps to the y, 3 steps to the x. That's what I do, and I end up over here. And all I have to do is to draw the graph, I just connect the dots. There we go, that's it. And if I want to, I can write that equation next to it. That's just basically it. Now make sure you're copying these examples in your booklet. These examples should be this. There should be the same thing in your booklet somewhere. All right, so let me try B. All right, let's write the equation down. Negative 2x take 3. Brilliant. So first step, again, I need to find out my y-intercept. So it's always going to be that constant. So it's a negative 3. So if I write that as a coordinate, it will be 0, negative 3. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is plot that on the graph. So 0, negative 3, so 1, 2, 3, so there we go, that is my C. So 0, negative 3. Alright, next step, use my x and y intercept from the gradient. Well, my gradient is this number over here, so my gradient is negative 2. Now, what's the x and the y steps? Well, it's not a fraction at the moment, it's just negative 2, so I need to make it into a fraction. How do I make any whole numbers into a fraction? Well, that's easy, I just divide it by 1. Alright, so now it's easy to tell which one's x, which one's y step. So always the top one is the y step, and always the bottom one is the x step. Now, do notice that the top y step is negative 2, so you have to go downwards 2. So you go 1, 2. And then you go to take 1 to the right. So that's where you end up at, over here. And then all you have to do is connect the dots. So that is your equation y equals negative 2x, negative 3. And that's how you do it.